How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Fraud on the Telly. In today's video, we will be breaking down everything that happened in Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 26. One of the genuinely most crazy Critical Role episodes we've seen in a while. Maybe the craziest episode of Campaign 3. An episode in which we got a critical role first, a player character as a guest who's a bad guy. As well, we got a new Imogen Dream to break down, and big FCG Backstory info reveal. As always, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you check out our most recent video, The Life and Story of Percy DeRollo, and let's get right into it. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, we gotta once again give a shout out to that crispy, clean intro. Man, I love this thing, man. Maybe it's just the bright colors, maybe I'm just a child at heart, but whatever it is, it's great. Sort of where we last left off with the party, they were in the city of Bassaras, hunting one Armand Treshy. They have gathered a new party member, Dusk, and a guest in Erica Ishii. Don't worry, we're going to talk more about you in a minute, Erica. And have staked out the home of the Paragon's Call, where Treshy is hiding. As well, in the last episode, we got some big Fern backstory as we learned that her parents are in fact around right now. They are in the material plane. Fern's big backstory quest to find her parents seems to be coming in fruition as they got in contact with their parents and are planning to meet up. Our episode begins with a fun little convo between Erica's character Dusk and Ashley's character Fern. They talk a lot about Fern's parents and the nature of the Feywild, the nature of Fey creatures having these shackles upon them in the material world. Eventually the conversation ends and we get a critical role first. Matt asks everyone at the table but Erica to leave. Once they do, suddenly the change in mood shifts drastically. Erica's face, like a freaking changeling, just goes woof, and all of a sudden she's just switches from this fun, excitable character to this calm, serious, cold, frankly, really scary character. We learn that Dusk is working with someone in the Feywild called the Sorrow Lord, one that works for the Unseelie Court. Her mission is to kill the Calloway family. Yep, you heard me right. That means Fern and her parents. That's her job. We also learned that she's not the only one hunting the Calloways, as this Sorrow Lord mentions that others are on the case. This then makes a little bit of sense now because we knew that Dusk was a warlock. Now it seems we know that she is some kind of Fey patron warlock. Wowee. The whole politics of the Seelie Court is crazy. I know we're going to get way more information on this later, but yeah, it's the first time in Critical Role history there's been technically an evil guest character or just an evil player character in general. I know we had Archon, the whole thing. Spoilers, by the way, for Campaign 1. Skip this part. We'll have it in the part below if you don't want to hear this. We know Archon, came help with the Vecna fight, and then, he took the hand of Vecna because that was kind of his goal all along. But this isn't really the same as that. Admitting this is a lot different. The group are incredibly trusting. Obviously, that's a little bit of OOC as this is their friend who's a guest character. They want to integrate them in. But Matt, oh man, Matt has been hanging out with Brennan too much, man. Matt and Brennan are why I have trust issues. The group are then caught by the guards of the Paragon's Call. They managed to bullshit, saying that they were actually coming here to speak with them all along because, they had their interaction with the general before. General Ratanish, I believe is his name. So that night, Imogen had a new dream as the moon of Ruidus was flaring in the night sky. The dream played out very similarly as before, but she is greeted by this woman figure and an army, that's the only word I can use, an army of figures behind her. They speak for a moment as suddenly the figure rushes her, Imogen waking up. She feels drawn to her window as she looks outside and up. She sees the moon of Ruidus flaring. So many questions, no answers. My immediate guess is this is some kind of, I don't know, moon army, some kind of coalition of Ruidus-born folk. Matt says that she was drawn to the moon to look at it as it was flaring in the sky. Obviously, we know being Ruidus-born gives the person some kind of psionic psychic abilities. What we don't know is how and why and what this has to do with this strange army of people that seem to be coming to the material plane. I have a guess, but it's really out there, that there's some people, I guess, maybe wandering the astral sea, possibly living on Ruidus, or have some kind of relation with Ruidus that are not in the material plane, that possibly are coming. Obviously, the storm that Imogen is dreaming of are these people that seem to be imminently on their way to attack the material plane in Exandria. What we don't know is how, why, so many questions. I know over time we're going to get answers, and I'll probably make a video fleshing out a little more, but we just don't know. The group decided to split up, exploring different avenues of how to secure Armand Tresci, gathering information. FCG goes with Fern and Dust to check out a mechanical shop that he used to visit with Dancer when he used to come and live in this city. Things seem to be going fine. It's kind of just a shopping trip, an information gathering trip, when all of a sudden, FCG tells this man that his former friend Dancer is now dead. She's dead. The guy laughs, saying, "You're joking. I saw her just a month ago." The look on Sam's face here, man, absolutely priceless. Well done, Matthew. Apparently, Dancer is in fact alive. She survived this encounter with this one-eyed monster, having replaced her arm with a mechanical one. Only Matt Mercer can make what seems like a simple shopping trip, an information gathering trip, turn into some kind of traumatic backstory. FCG and Sam, everything they thought they knew about their character, suddenly gone now. I love that Matt does this, and I really hope that other DMs and characters do this. When you give your backstory to your DM, let them know to play with it, because this sort of thing right here, oh my goodness, I love it. The subversion of expectations. I mean, he waited 26 episodes to reveal this, and it could have taken even longer. You can tell Sam was genuinely shocked about this, as there's so many mysteries with FCG. This idea that his builder he thought was dead is no longer dead, and as we'll come to learn, has been lying to him. Very, very interesting. Ashton, along with Imogen and a couple of others, go to a place that I can only describe as maybe a heroin den, a building called the Palace of All Minds Burn. Ashton meets up with an old friend of his, a bird person, one that resembles a cardinal. Very, very odd. Apparently everyone that lives in the All Minds Burn is somehow connected mentally in some way. They're a hive mind, but they're also not a hive mind. As well, they inhale some kind of drug. It can only be imagined that this is what, I guess, projects their consciousness into the hive mind. I'm not sure. It's super crazy. Again, so many questions that will probably never get answered. Imogen delves deep into the mind of this bird woman. She can just feel this overwhelming pressure as all of these minds are intermingled, talking with one another. And she feels like underneath the city, there's some sort of presence. Yeah, super weird culty vibes. I can only imagine what sort of horror lurks beneath the Palace of the All Minds Burn. Eventually, the group meet up again at Imahara Joe's. They have an idea to take part in the Death Wish Run, a crazy, crazy race that goes across the city in order to prove themselves to the Paragon's call. In doing so, they want to go to Joe's to pick up a crawler or some kind of like a mechanical Mad Maxy bike. As well, they want to gather more information. And they do. At Joe's, we learned so much. We learned that Fern's parents apparently have come to Joe's relatively often to buy these strange power crystals that they use to power the crawlers and other automatons. What they want with these crystals, who knows? What we do know is that the Nightmare King was using crystals as well that were very similar to this to perform experiments. So in fact, it does seem that Fern's parents are in fact good guys, whereas in last episode last week, I wasn't so sure. As well, we learned that Joe does in fact know FCG and his owner, Dancer. He tells FCG that he in fact almost purchased FCG the day he saw FCG arrive broken on a caravan. Obviously, this is news to FCG because in his mind, his backstory, he was created by Dancer. He was built by her. Apparently, that's not the case. Apparently, Dancer actually purchased him and for some reason is lying to him about being his creator. Joe says the fact that FCG is indeed a automaton from Aeor, of Aeoran design. He is a relic of history. Tells us as well that over the last 5 years, a bunch of these Aeorian automatons have been coming back to life. These Aeorian automatons being unique in that they are sentient. Well, we know what happened around 5 years ago. Yeah, that would be a little bit of adventures with the Mighty Nine and Aeor. So we're seeing the consequences of their actions again play out in another party. I love that Matt does this shit. This is how you make a living, breathing world. The consequences are real, choices matter. Yeah, the episode ends just like that, with the group planning to take part in this insane death race on these insane brawler motorcycle type things. What a wild freaking episode, man. I felt like I was just getting hit with like just surprise attacks from everywhere. All of these things caught me off guard. I, like the cast, are completely trusting of Dusk because of course you would be. I love that Matt is playing on these expectations that we have. And I really hope that the cast don't watch the episode because, man, would it really suck if they found out that Dusk was indeed not a good person. This episode just brought up so many questions. Why would Dancer lie to FCG about his creation? Why would Dancer leave FCG after the whole attack in the mountainside? Why does Dusk want to kill the Callaways? What does the Sealy Court want with the Callaways? Apparently the Callaways are out to save the world, but we have no idea how or what that means. What is up with the hive mind of the All Minds Burn? I don't even know if we're going to get any confirmation of that ever. God, I hope we do at some point because I just desperately want to know. I need to know, Matt. I've said this several times, but it really feels like Matt definitely took some notes from Brennan as well as Abria in a lot of DM tactics. Matt has always been one to throw curveballs at players, you know, subvert expectations. Matt is a master of plot reveals, but it really does feel like a lot of the stuff that he's doing in this episode were very Brennan inspired. There's just like a certain flavor of messing with your head that Brennan loves to do, and it just feels like a lot of that is this right now, especially with this idea of having a guest character come in and be an antagonistic force, and I freaking love it. My only hope is that it doesn't get spoiled, but I have a feeling that it will because it's the internet, so let's hope not, and we'll find out. Oh, as well, we got confirmation that next week there will be a round table discussing everything that happened after EXU Calamity. So expect a video covering that from us because you guys know I love my EXU Calamity. As always, if you enjoyed the video, learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this crazy episode of Critical Role. Let me know your theories for Dusk, for Fern, for FCG, for Imogen, all the stuff I want to hear. Let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys. It's been a really crazy time in my life right now. So being able to make these videos and do this stuff for you all and you guys watch it, it feels really good. And it's a nice distraction from the insanity of the real world at times. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay safe out there. Always, guys. Peace, love. Adieu.